overall chapter to read. Nothing too hype, but it wasn't disappointing nevertheless. But first of all, let's just get started on that cover page. Finally, Pound has reunited with Lola and Chiffon. That's good to see. Hopefully it's the end of this little chapter of the cover page and we can move on to something else. And in this chapter, we just get started straight away with the Big Mom Pirates. Well, Paris in particular. But, well, we can see he's not really too thrilled about the whole alliance with the Beast Pirates and the Big Mom Pirates. And he is gunning for King Luffy and Marco as soon as he reaches Onigashima. But it seems like they can see Onigashima from a distance, but it will probably take them a while to get there. But now we can kind of clearly see that within the Big Mom crew, they're not too much fond of Kaido's alliance with their crew. Maybe possibly because Paris is one of the oldest members of the Big Mom Pirates. Maybe he kind of has history with other members, maybe King, or he just knows the nature of the Beast Pirates. Maybe he doesn't feel like that this alliance will be of any good for the Big Mom Pirates. Maybe, who knows? We should just have to wait and see. And then just the next part was just too funny. We come back to Usopp and Chopper. Glad to see they escape from Big Mom, which is a relief for them, because I don't think Usopp nor Chopper can handle Big Mom. But it seems like Big Mom is too focused on Nami, as she has Zeus with her. And it seems like maybe the homies can kind of sense the soul, as they seem to be chasing and somehow finding her as well. So, and then in this next bit, which kind of got me a little bit triggered, we see Sanji. Like, at this point, we want him to be serious. We want him to be, being able to protect these guys like Carrot and Nami, but he seems to be indulging in his activities, chasing after, prostitutes at this set of time, which is a bit weird for us all. But it's just who Sanji is, man. We just got to get used to it at this point. But he will come clutch when Big Mom comes through. So we just got to watch out for that. And then in the next panel, I don't know what we're gonna do here. Seems like my boy Momo's in a pickle right now. He's in a big predicament at the moment. He's tied up, literally waiting for his execution. He's not even looking nice or presentable for his execution. He's all beaten up. He can barely see, which is a sad sight to witness. But Orochi's just looking forward to getting rid of the Kozuki name once and for all. The crowd don't seem too impressed, as they probably don't believe that really is Oden's son, as Momo did travel 20 years, which is kind of hard for anyone to imagine that this is, Momo. Like, he should be roughly looking about 20, but he's about 8 right now. So, but nevertheless, they seem excited about the whole execution. I mean, all they wanted to see is some action, and they seem to be getting it. I don't know how Momonosuke will be able to survive this or escape. I don't know what will happen. Maybe someone might help out later. I don't know who, but we shall just see what happens next. This is where it just gets crazy. In this panel, we see Zoro just huffing and seems a little worn out. Maybe he's just tired of fighting all of these bums, the gifters, and just it's getting a bit too long for him. Him and Kid should be able to handle them. It's just like extra baggage for them, They wish they could get out of this situation, but they can't, so they just got to fight their way out. It doesn't feel like it's a big deal. I'm sure they'll get over it, but it just seems too long for them. Zoro just cannot be bothered at the moment. Maybe Kid is worn out, because he is a conqueror. I would have loved to seen him, maybe, just give them a little whiff of that, but I guess maybe he's a little worn out. He probably can't use it at the moment, or maybe he's just saving it for later on. Who knows? But they should be able to escape, get out of that little predicament. They should be fine. And then in this next bit, which I love, we get a little continuation of where the last chapter ended from last week. The confrontation between Page 1, Ulti and Luffy. We see a little beautiful clash between two conquerors, which I am surprised. I did not think Ulti would be a conqueror's haki user, but nevertheless, she is a former captain, so who knows, They had their little clash. a lot of the gifters or whatever they are thought Ulti would be coming out on top, but you know, her and Page One just had a little moment where she was like, you know what, this guy is the real deal. Like, she acknowledged Luffy's strength, his haki obviously, but they had a little scuffle, you know, they threw little hands, which was lovely to see. And then out of nowhere, where you think Luffy's a little down, where he's probably thinking, you know what, maybe I might have to use my Gear 4 to get out of this situation, where she's in her hybrid form, which looks like, I think she's in her hybrid form. Yeah, she's in her hybrid form. And then Luffy's about to use Gear 4, where my boy, we finally see Yamato. We finally see the son of Kaido. And he comes in swinging just like the way Kaido swung Luffy. He hit him with a Thunder Bagua, the same name attack as Kaido. And he is using the same club as Kaido. And he is big like Kaido, so who knows, this might be getting lit. Ulti is a confirmed zone user, you know, which is amazing, but you know, Kaido's crew is filled with a lot of zone users, which is mad, especially ancient zones as well, heavily stacked. And this chapter just comes to an end with just Yamato completely one-shotting Ulti, which is crazy. I'm looking forward to it. And then him and Luffy had a little like dialogue there where Luffy didn't sense any malice or killing intent from Yamato, which is weird. You'd expect that from Kaido's son, but who knows, maybe he might be of use to the alliance. I'm really looking forward to it, I really am. Who knows, I don't know how strong he can be, and I'm not going to start comparing him to, you know, one of Kaido's higher ups like King or Queen. Maybe he could be stronger, maybe he is the ace, who knows, but doesn't seem like he's too fond of his father's crew. Maybe he might be joining Luffy's alliance. We also see shackles or chains on his wrist, suggest that maybe he was in cuffs or he was being held captive. Seems like he escaped. Either ways, hopefully him and Luffy will just continue this little thing going on between them, and maybe just maybe Yamato will join the alliance. I'm not too sure if he will join the alliance, but if he does, would be great. Would be a good addition, with not just Marco coming in, but who knows, with Yamato as well. The war is looking very promising for the side of the alliance. So with a break next week, no chapter next week, the run has come to an end. We can finally just digest this chapter, let it sink in, and just see what happens next. And this is me, your boy Kuro.